A loss for Balen in Jhapa-5 would be more than a symbolic setback. It would structurally remove him from the next House of Representatives and critically from the executive, if he ran under the first past the post FPTP system. Nepal's election law bars an FPTP candidate from simultaneously appearing on a proportional representation PR closed list, so defeat would mean no parliamentary seat by fallback. In the current electoral context, snap house elections slated for March 5, 2026, following the September 2025 Zenzi upheaval and the caretaker transition, Jhapa-5 has become a national proxy context because it pits a post-movement reformist brand against the entrenched machinery of KP Sharma Oli, whose hold over the constituency has been repeatedly reaffirmed by large margins. If Balen loses narrowly, the most possible chain reaction is contested legitimacy narratives, recount petition pressure, or tougher coalition bargaining cycle under Article 76 strict timetable. A government that is less reform credible to youth constituencies than the movement expected, raising the probability of sustained, mostly peaceful mobilization with a non-trivial risk of escalation in a country still traumatized by lethal protests, crackdowns and unsolved accountability. The communications battle after such a defeat would likely decide whether Nepal enters a cooling phase or a reheating phase. The safest strategic advice for both camps is de-escalatory legitimacy messaging, accept procedures, demand transparency, avoid humiliation narratives and foreground concrete reform deliberates. Especially because international observers and diplomatic missions have been urged to avoid any action that could be perceived as influencing the vote. Nepal is heading into House of Representatives HOR elections on 5 March, with the Election Commission calendar and campaign windows publicly described in official and state media reporting. The HOR has 275 seats, 165 FPTP and 110 PR. Government formation is constitutionally time-bound and coalition outcomes matter immediately after results. The wider political setting is the post-September 2025 crisis, deadly violence during protests, and continuing demands from rights organizations to publish inquiry reports and break patterns of impunity. Legal contest of the transition itself has been significant. Multiple petitions challenged the caretaker premiership and dissolution decisions, underscoring that Nepal's new movement is being enlightened as well as campaigned. Balen's party label was not specified in your prompt. However, widely reported developments indicate he aligned with Rashtriya Swatantra Party under a broad unity framework with Robila Mithani, including the branding of Balen as the Prime Minister face of the project. Reporting also indicates he formally filed candidacy from Jhapa-5 as a senior party figure and is described as the former mayor of Kathmandu, implying he resigned to run. Jhapa-5 matters the most because it is a long-standing fortress seat for Oli's MLA, and because the constituency has become a wild national narrative stage, old force versus new force. In the 2022 HOR election, Oli won Jhapa-5 by 28,576 votes, with the third place candidate taking 11,748 votes. Two legal constraints are pivotal to the what if he loses scenario. No PR backstop. A person who is a FPTP candidate cannot be included in the PR closed list. Second, no ministerial workout after defeat. The Constitution bars appointing a person who was defeated in the HOR election as a minister during the term of that HOR, limiting the common appoint and make new member within 6 months work around for members. The constitutional rulebook for government formation is decisive. Under Article 76, the President appoints A. the leader of the majority parliamentary party, or B. a member who can command a majority with support of two or more parties. If that fails, the leader of the largest party may be appointed, and confidence votes are time bound. Appointment procedures must be completed within 35 days of final results or vacancy. In a Balen loses Jhapa-5 outcome, the most important political consequence is not just reputational, it is positional. Balen cannot become prime minister because he would not be a member of the HOR. He also cannot be appointed as a minister from outside and later regularized because the constitution restricts appointing someone who was defeated in the HOR election as minister during the term. He has no PR entry route if he fought FPTP because FPTP candidates cannot be placed on the PR close list. आज को लागि इतनै. I'm Pratik and you're watching The Exposure. धन्यवाद.